The Criterion sale is over. The Camp Arrow sale has finished. There's, I think, just a Kino sale left. Either way, these big sales that have been happening are over. And now it's time to watch the actual movie. The biggest part, I think, that most BlueTube movie collectors struggle with, actually.
Holy shit. This is hot garbage. Yeah. But I can't stop listening. Yeah. Legalize nuclear bombs.
Anyway, how's it going, everyone? I'm your host, Chris, as always. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing so I can be your movie guy. And if you are coming back, hey, thanks again for subscribing and thanks for supporting me. Don't forget to hit that Patreon and the OnlyFans page. See, that's what happens when you subscribe. You will be able to know about that kind of stuff. Let's go on with today. It's August. It's hot. All these sales have ended. If you're anything like me, I felt overwhelmed with all these sales. And then, you know, after you buy so many things, you kind of forget about what you got, or you forgot the things you've got from last sale and you haven't caught up. And now you're stressing out and freaking the fuck out because you have so many movies to watch and your letterbox is run dry like your DMs because you got no fucking play. Bruh. But like, today I am going to steal an idea from Stephanie over at Movie Chatter. What she does is, it seems like every month now she wants to do a top 10 must-watch movies. And I really like that idea. I think that, you know, recommending movies periodically would be a really great way to get some new movie discussions in circulation. So today I've stolen from Movie Chatter. Instead of a top 10, I just decided to do a top 5 because my IQ isn't that high. So I went ahead and did a top 5 must-watch movies. And maybe I'll do it every month and see how it goes. I challenge everyone who's watching to give me their top 5 movie recommendations. It could be movies that have been recently watched. It could be new release movies. These are just like top 5 random movies that I've watched fairly recently or I've enjoyed and I feel like don't get enough discussion. So let's just get into it. 5 in no order. I'm just going to go in just the way I want to talk about them. But the first movie I recommend here, this is from the Shout Select boutique label from Scream Factory. This is Nighthawks. This is from 1981. It has Sylvester Stallone and Rutger Hauer in it. I love this, how it says, one man can bring the world to its knees, and the only one man can stop him. Like, I don't know. It's Sylvester Stallone with a beard. It's Rutger Hauer right before Blade Runner as well. Basically, Rutger Hauer is like this terrorist who invades the city, and he's taking people hostages, and Sylvester Stallone, along with his partner Billy D. Williams, have to try and stop him. It goes out for like intense car chases, standoffs, chase sequences, action, just everything you love about the 80s. It's such a thriller / action movie. Yeah, I don't see this movie ever get talked about. Whether it's like on film or action Twitter, which I'm actually, thank God, not a part of, or it's just like people who love Sylvester Stallone. I recently watched Demolition Man, and it rejuvenated my love for the bastard. So, I highly recommend you check out Nighthawks. Here it is right here. You can pick this up. This is relatively cheap. You can probably pick it up on Amazon for about $11. Highly recommend this movie, and the third act and that ending is awesome. The next movie on the list, this is, for some people, they might get turned off. Usually it's because when they see me, but also because it is a black and white movie. Now, for my younger people who are watching the videos and trying to get some sort of film knowledge, first off, I'm not your person for that. I'm not that guy, okay? With black and white movies, for those who actually want to get into movies, are pivotal. They're monumental. They're essential to growing your film knowledge because there's so many great movies that are in black and white. And I can get it's a little daunting. Maybe you think they're out of fashion. But a lot of times these movies are very well made. The acting is top notch. So I highly recommend dipping your toes in the black and white movies. Anyway, outside of being your parent there for a second, this movie I watched for the first time. This is through the Arrow Academy, which I believe is discontinued now through Arrow Video. They put out like old classic movies or kind of forgotten movies. Basically, they try to do what Kino does for black and white films. But this is by John Farrow. This was from 1948. This stars Ray Milland and Charles Laughton. This is The Big Clock. The Big Clock I really enjoy. I watched it for the first time and I was very, very impressed with how well this movie was. A simple premise of Ray Milland works for this firm and he just wants to go on fucking vacation. Mostly because he had a honeymoon and he never took it because he works for a newspaper. Mostly like a newspaper syndicate. Like he does like private investigation to get the stories. But anyway, he finally has taken this vacation, but the problem is the business that he works for is run by Charles Laughton, who is this terrible man who always wants the story out first. He's all about time and promptness, and he constantly denies Raymond land his vacation. Like even in the movie, it says that he went on vacation with his wife, and then he had to turn right around to get the scoop on a new story. So they like each other very much. Charles Laughton eventually gets himself into some trouble, and he decides to pin it on Raymond Land. And now Raymond Land is investigating the murder mystery that he supposedly has committed, and he's trying to figure out who the killer is while also trying to make sure nobody realizes it's him. It's a very good edge-of-your-seat murder mystery, and I think Raymond Land is at maybe his best in this movie. It's one of my favorite Raymond Land films. John Farrow is no slouch. Charles Laughton, terrific as always. This is a movie I don't see classic movie fans talk about. The Big Clock. I just think that this movie has everything you need for a classic thriller. And when we talk about noir films, I think this is pretty top notch, and the ending is really great. So check this movie out. I'm a big movie monster guy. I like kaijus. It's the summertime as well. You think about blockbuster movies, with a movie monster, something that's better. Obviously, a lot of things are better than Jaws, right? So I got to recommend something that I recommend besides watching just that. And this is from Larry Cohen. This is Q, the Winged Serpent. This is from 1982. A lot of 80s movies already. But Q, the Winged Serpent, I really like this movie. I don't think when it comes to Larry Cohen, it gets talked about enough. Like, we got the stuff. I understand that. But Q, the Winged Serpent, like, I think people look at this and think, oh, this movie looks like trash. No, it actually is great. And actually, the monster looks awesome. It's more about how humans are monsters. Because Michael Moriarty finds the Winged Serpent. It's like an ancient Aztec myth that comes to New York. And he decides to, withhold the information of where it's being kept from the authorities so he could get paid money because he discovered this thing. He just wants notoriety. He wants to get famous. What do people do for money, I wonder? This is what this movie's about. Larry Cohen, if you haven't watched his films, he's very much into criticizing society and the things that press people to do things. I think Q, the Winged Serpent is smarter than what people give it because it looks ridiculous. But God, this movie's great. Check this out. You could probably watch it on Amazon Prime, but it's actually one of the more inexpensive Scream Factory movies. If you need some sort of summer dramedy, a movie that's kind of funny, a little bit of family drama, I recommend this movie to everyone. I think it's just really great. I think it gives insight into kind of a contemporary time in the 90s. I think it has a little bit of some things for people to relate to from growing up, and that is Spike Lee's Crooklyn. This movie came out in 1994. When we talk about Spike Lee, there's so many great movies, but at the same time, I still think this is his best. I know Do the Right Thing's his most famous. This might be his best. Is it my favorite? It's probably my second favorite next to He Got Game. But Crooklyn is so good. It's kind of like Spike Lee opening up a little bit what it was like growing up in Brooklyn. And there's this small little area with a big family. It has Delroy Lindo in it, who I think is one of the best actors that needs a lot more work. But this movie's just so good. I would check out Crooklyn. It's basically the small family, Brooklyn, trying to go through everyday life troubles while also trying to maintain being a family. Easier said than done. I highly recommend this movie. It's coming out 150 minutes, 1994, so it's relatively new. There's still some things that it's not dated or anything, so I highly recommend Crooklyn. And also just check out Spike Lee's filmography. It's so good, Finally, in the last movie I'm going to recommend, it's not only because there's a new movie coming out, but also because it's just a fucking great movie. I don't think it gets enough of its flowers, to be honest. Also, it's a great summer movie, and you can rewatch it constantly. I think you forgot about this movie, so go and watch it now while you still can, and that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1990. This is my favorite TMNT movie. I think it's one of my all-time favorite movies. It's such an easy watch. You can't see behind me, but I have actually the turtles from this movie on NECA. I might have to pull those out and show them to you sometime because I also have Shredder and Splinter. God, I love this movie. It just has a terrific soundtrack. I think this is the best the Turtles look. I mean, Turtles 2 and 3 and every other Turtle live-action movie we've gotten, I don't think ever comes close to the 1990 costumes. Also, I love April O'Neil in this movie. I like Danny, Casey Jones. It's just a really great movie. Also, you get a Sam Rockwell cameo. So this is a really great movie. I really enjoy this movie a lot. I think people sleep on it because the new movie's coming out. There's never been a good Turtles movie. BS. This movie's awesome. Go check it out. And also go check out TMNT, Mutant Mayhem. No, I'm not sponsored for it, but AMC, if you want me to start talking about your movies, give me... Yeah, the DMs are open. And those are my top 5 movies you must watch, I think. I'm telling you now, with a fist on you, watch these damn movies. They're really good. And if you don't agree, then drop a comment down below. If you do agree, drop a comment down below. What are the 5 movies that you recommend people watch in this last month of the summer? And once again, if you are new to the channel, please consider, let me be your movie guy. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Give this video a like. And if you are returning, thanks again for the support as always. Hey, my name is Chris here at Hertastic Reviews. And remember, if you aren't watching my movie recommendations, do you really care about cinema? Other than that, I'll see you next time.